Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Kaiju number 8 episode review for you guys. Apologies for missing out last week's episode. I was playing a bunch of video games, and then too, I was just being very lazy. Because I had like legitimately like a 4-day weekend. But I missed like one of the hypest episodes last week, and then obviously yesterday was another pretty big episode moment in terms of Kafka versus he Kafka versus Hibino, which was a very intense fight. Very intense fight. I loved every freaking second of it. And my goodness. I just love where Kaiju number 8 is going. Like, it's that good of a freaking show. And listen, I can't wait to see what happens next. I cannot wait to see what happens next. But let's talk about episode 7, which was titled Kaiju number 9. So number one, thank goodness, Ichikawa and the red hair guy, I think his name is Renji or something like that. They ended up actually not dying and making it in terms of the prediction that I thought was going to happen. But you have it to where Kafka overhears this, and then he ends up going to save Ichikawa and the red-haired dude. Excuse me. Holy crap. And he's going up against Kaiju number 9. Now, Kaiju number 9 is like, who the hell is this guy? Now, we kind of have it to where, okay, Kaiju number 9 fires off some attacks and everything, but at some point it affects Kafka, but really not too much. And basically, Kafka does so much damage to the point eventually he eventually sees like Kaiju number 9's like core. Now, the only problem is, like, it looks like he's going to take him out, finish off Kaiju number 9, and take out his core. But then you have it to where some Defense Force members end up showing up and distracting Kafka, because he's like, look, I'm not trying to hurt these guys. And these guys are, like, shooting on sight. And they alert, like, hey, Kaiju number 8's here. Kaiju number 8 is here. Which, it's not good for Kafka, because it's like, all right, he needs to finish this Kaiju off and then get the hell out of there, right? So you have it to where you have it to where eventually Kaiju number 9, he ends up escaping. He ends up running away, and because of this distraction, and he retreats, and we see later in episode 9, he's trying to find a way to defeat Kaiju number 8 or Kafka. And at the same time, he does something crazy where he like was walking on the road, and then he ends up eating this guy and then taking his car, and I think even transforming to this guy too. So man is absolutely crazy. Plus, he also does say like, okay, I think I'm starting to figure you out a little bit more now. So that's kind of where that story point is going on. So no need to talk about that in the episode 9 review, and it's kind of a dual episode review anyways. But eventually you have it to where Kaiju number 8 or Kafka, he ends up escaping to this alleyway. But then you have it to where he ends up, going a bit, or Hibino ends up finding him. And Hibino is like, well, Kaiju number 8, it's time to finally go up against you. Now, they start clashing a bit, but Kafka's trying to avoid and run away. But Hibino's like, all right, well, I don't know why you're running away. I'll pick a fight with me. And eventually at the end of episode 8, he has it to where he goes like, he's like, look, turn off everything, let me go max power in my freaking power suit, right? So they lift basically the barrier, and basically the thing is, we found out he's not much of a shooter. He's more, we already know this, but he's not much of a shooter. He's more of a fist to fist like knife, because he comes from basically shinobis, essentially ninjas, essentially, and things like that. So he goes full power, and that was what leads into this week's episode 9. Now, you have to where Kikaru is kind of shocked, and she's worried about Kafka, because it's like, all right, man is getting hunted after the vice captain. This might not end well. And obviously, red-haired guy and Ichikawa get taken away. So the fight between Hibino and Kafka starts out, and you just see how crazy Hibino is in when he goes full power. Like he gets Kafka nicks and bruises, but Kafka's able to heal it back fairly easy. But you have it to where man is such a very much skilled fighter. Like, this dude is smart. He is smart. He knows how to deal with kaijus. He knows how to do it. And Kafka in his kaiju form is barely like able to avoid, barely like being able to avoid its attacks. Like, he's avoiding his attacks, but he's still taking damage. Like, and there's one part in their scuffle where like he gets cut so bad his core is exposed, and luckily he got out of there before he ended up getting his core destroyed. And I'm guessing if his core is destroyed, well then boom, he's gonna be dead. And it just shows you like, all right, he's got to be very careful around Hibino. And the worst part is like, this is how strong Hibino is. Like, we won't know if there's gonna be a moment where he ends up having to fight. He might end up being forced to fight freaking Mina. We might see a point like he might end up having to actually fight Mina, and it's like, well, if this dude is this strong, how the hell is freaking Mina? How strong is Mina? Because like eventually, after a while, after he ends up getting escaped, like Mina comes and confronts Hibino, and Hibino's like, sorry, Captain, for letting him get away. But he looks all disappointed, and you just have it where Mina's just like making mockery of this and just basically taking the image like, I need to remember this for reasons and stuff like that. And it's like, well then damn, if she's like taking this as a joke, essentially, it's like Mina is hella strong then, which we already know she's hella strong, but it's like, okay, she might be insanely stronger than what we think she is. Now, again, we haven't seen what she's done up against these humanoid kaiju. Like, it'd be interesting to see how she does against kaiju number 9. If she could basically mop the floor with him. Probably not, but like maybe still get the upper hand on him. Who knows? We'll see. We'll have to see if that fight ever comes to fruition, right? But you just have it to where, Hibino, he gets the upper hand, but luckily, Kafka catches him off guard. He charges up his attack, and it's like, all right, we know that we've seen what Kafka can do when he charges up. Like, he can destroy these kaijus in one hit to the point it's just dead. Just imagine if he does that against a human, like, there might be nothing left, really. Their body won't probably be able to take it. And he catches Hibino off guard at some point. He charges up, but instead of just hitting Hibino, because he knows he doesn't want to kill Hibino, he just takes out his knife or his dagger, and that's how he escapes. And luckily he escapes. He's basically very exhausted and wounded and everything, and he gets back to Kikoro, and Kikuro's happy to see him again. I don't know if there's potential like ship implications because of that. She may start to like him, or this is like 2-3 episodes so far where she's been getting flustered around him. So I don't know if she potentially may have deep dark feelings maybe for him. I think it's somewhat cute, even though she's significantly younger than he is, but I ship him with Mina more. But again, like I said in the last few episodes, look, I guess if the Mina ship is not going to happen, I guess Kikoro wouldn't be a bad ship. It wouldn't be bad, and who knows, maybe she gains a respect to the point that respect for him is actually kind of, I guess, misguided by love, I guess you can say. So we'll have to see where that love story potentially could be going on, but that's just me. I'm a sucker for romance. I always be watching these Shonen Jump shows and things like that, be like, all right, who's being shipped with who? But obviously I'm here for the action too. But that all happens. What happens is Ishikawa ends up waking up. You have a funny moment where they kind of almost blabber away about Kaiju number 8, true identity, and basically that's all funny. You get kind of a celebration party. Excuse me. Sorry, just tired, man. you get a celebration party where you kind of have it to where it's like, all right, you look like they're arguing. Well, in some cases, some people are arguing with each other, others aren't arguing, but Ichikawa ends up finding out like, actually, no, this bonding is actually helping because it's actually showing us, okay, what can we improve on? What can we get stronger on? Because we're listening to other people's recommendations, even though we're kind of arguing with each other a bit. So that's kind of thing. And then that's when Hibino gives the like, hey everybody, I got an announcement to make, and basically announces that because of Kafka being able to reveal the fact that he found the Kaiju's weakness, he's no longer like on probation type of period where he might be there for a limited time. He's actually a full-fledged defense force member in the Kaiju defense force ranks. So props to him, he finally did it without having to do the Kaiju stuff, and have the Kaiju stuff being on impact basically. So that's kind of the thing, right then and there. So what happens is he has like kind of a little meeting scheduled with Mina in her office, and Mina kind of like, listen, blah 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 blah, congratulations, do what you got to do. And it's funny because then Mina just walks back, and she's like, but listen, you got a long way before you say you're gonna be at my side, which I completely laughed my ass off. I marked out, because it's like, okay, see, she does have deep down, she did like that moment. I knew deep down she did enjoy that moment of the fact that he did say, I'm one step closer to being by your side, Mina. And she kind of plays it off as a joke here because she knows, okay, I'm messing with my best friend here. I'm proud of him that he's finally here. But listen, he's still got a long way to go. But that's the thing, and it's funny because Kaka's like, "Come on, Mina, how could you do that to me?" And then she's like, "Don't call me Mina, call me Captain, and give me 50 push-ups right now." He's like, "But why?" I feel like she's getting a kick out of this. She must be getting a kick out of this. I'm telling you, she probably goes back to her residency. She's probably as giddy as anybody as she can. She probably as giddy as she was when she was a child, when she was near Kafka. Probably happy as ever, like, okay, this guy I may or may not like, whatever, my best friend, my childhood friend, is now in the defense force. He's got a long way before he stands by my side once again, but it's funny. And I feel like she doesn't mind him see, this is the thing. I feel like she doesn't mind him calling her Mina like that. Now, obviously, professional wise, it's probably best, especially in like an army setting. Like if you knew somebody personally in the army or, the military, like you probably wouldn't be addressing them by their first name if they're at a higher rank than you are. But regardless, like, okay, if you have your own alone time, you're gonna call them by their original name. Now, maybe she doesn't want to do that because, all right, she wants to probably keep things professional, and probably she doesn't want like her coworkers and the other higher ups finding out like, okay, we really truly let this dude come in here because, oh, that's your childhood friend. That's not really much of a big recommendation, right? That's not, because really in real life, like, obviously it's nice to have connections and things like that, but if you're strictly trying to have somebody get in because, oh, you're my friend, that won't slide. Like that's a regular today's society thing. But I do find it funny that like every time he calls her Mina, like she's like, it's Captain, 50 push-ups. I'm like, I can't wait for the moment to when she finally is like gonna call him, lets her call him more than just Captain. Eventually they'll be on the first name basis again. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. So yeah, and eventually he's staying up late again. He's calling it at night. But then he comes across Hibino again, and Hibino's kind of doing like mental image training and moving in the same way as Kafka was when he was fighting his Kaiju 8 form in their fight. And basically, you kind of have it to where Hibino's kind of like, okay, this is weird about Kaiju number 8. Like, he wasn't acting like, he's a Kaiju, but he wasn't acting like what Kaiju should act like. If anything, he was acting almost human-like, and the way he was dodging me was almost human-like he didn't want to hurt me or anything. So, again, Hibino's putting the pieces together. We'll see if Hibino will eventually put one-on-one together, and that's basically where the episode ends. in terms of the training, and Kafka's like, I'll be by your side. Or well, he won't, he's like, look, I'll help you when I needs to help. And then basically you have it to where he even knows like, yeah, well, what power you got? So that's basically where the story ends off. Oh, I forgot to mention, we get kind of left on a cliffhanger. Like there's these like freaking gigantic kaiju flying animals or whatever, and this big gigantic kaiju that looks pretty badass is like, I guess, on their way. So that must be the next kaiju, whatever this kaiju is gonna be called. I'm guessing it's gonna be called Kaiju number 10. So we'll see. We will see. But anyways, another solid episode of Kaiju number 8. Definitely can't wait to see more Kaiju number 8 content or any other stuff going forward with this show. So yeah, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Kaiju number 8 content. Excuse me. Or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day, night, or in this video. Peace.